Welcome to Daniel's Inferno. My name is Daniel. Thank you for joining me today. If you have a moment, please like, subscribe, share, and join the conversation below. I'd love to hear from you. Before we get started today, I'd like to apologize. It's been a little over a week probably since I've posted. I had someone very close to me pass away, and there was quite a few after effects and dealing with the arrangements that I had to help with. So I apologize to my audience. I haven't forgotten about you guys. I know the news has been insane. I know things have been going off left, right, and center. And I just want you to know I'm back, and I apologize for that break. So we're going to be talking about Delhi, or India, today. There seems to be very large clashes between the Hindu and the Muslim groups in India. So let's talk about why that's going on today. 13 are killed as Hindu and Muslim groups clash. The clashes first broke out Sunday between protesters in favor of a new controversial Indian citizenship law and those against. The violence has taken on religious overtones, with Hindu and Muslim groups fighting each other. The clashes have come during U.S. President Donald Trump's first official visit to the country. It's centered in Muslim-majority neighborhoods. The CAA, or Citizenship Amendment Act, which critics say is anti-Muslim, has sparked massive protests since it was passed last year, and some of those have turned violent, but the demonstrations in Delhi have been peaceful until now. When asked about the violence during a press briefing, Trump evaded the issue, saying the incident was up to India to handle. Correspondents say the current unrest is an embarrassment to Prime Minister Modi, as it has taken the spotlight away from Mr. Trump's visit. So we're going to go down a little bit and talk about the actual, why are people upset? The Citizenship Act itself. So it grants amnesty to non-Muslim immigrants from 3 nearby Muslim-majority countries, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Raised concerns and fears that India's secular status is at risk, and critics say it discriminates against Muslims. Mr. Modi's government denies this and said it only seeks to give amnesty to persecuted minorities. Hundreds of thousands of people across India, both Muslim and Hindu, have taken part in protests against the law. Some of the most high-profile protests, such as a continuing sit-in in Delhi's Shaheen Bagh area, has been led by Muslims. So some of my viewers may or may not know, but India used to be owned by Britain. And in 1947, after World War II, it was partitioned. And it was partitioned into India as the Hindu majority, and Pakistan as the Muslim majority. So the two split, okay? India has always had a large group, and that's of both Muslims and Hindu, and that's why there was the partition, because in 1947, Gandhi, and I'm actually forgetting the name of the Muslim leader, but Gandhi had a partner who was a Muslim leader. And from what I remember, please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but from what I remember, the two did not, they were not able to seek an agreement. I believe Gandhi was attempting to, but the other gentleman, they wasn't agreeing. So it was partitioned. So this secular, this violence, not that it's right, obviously, but this violence has been a very large part of India and India's culture for quite a long time. Obviously, this is a large escalation. People are being killed. From what I can see about this law, I'm not in, obviously I'm in Canada, but from what I can read and understand about this law, I don't understand where the fears about the discrimination against Muslims stem from. So if it's Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, and it wants to grant amnesty to non-Muslim immigrants, so I'm assuming that means giving priority to non-Muslim immigrants, would that not be because these non-Muslim immigrants have less areas to go to around them? And the Muslim immigrants have more choices, less fears of persecution due to their religion. Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Bangladesh are not known to be secular. They are not known, from what I know, to be very open, accepting, and great for other religions. Not that it's necessarily terrible there for other religions, but it's not been like a bastion of religious freedom. So India trying to give preferential treatment, I suppose, to non-Muslim immigrants, I don't really see that as a discrimination against Muslim. I see that as attempting to help people in the area who need it more than the Muslim community. Just because the Muslim community has been identified here as the community that has more options for immigration, that doesn't equal discrimination. At least not a discrimination that is a hateful and evil. Discrimination comes in all forms. There's good discrimination, like when a job chooses the better applicant because of their experience and everything else. And this, you can see it like the immigrants are applicants to the countries, and the countries are the employers. And the Muslim immigrants have more employer choices than the non-Muslim immigrants here. Now, everyone should have equal treatment. I understand that. But given the situation in that part of the world, I do understand wanting to help these groups more. And again, it's not an evil, hateful discrimination. It is a discrimination to save, to help. And again, I don't even see that as discrimination. I just see it as help. When the Muslim immigrants have less choices, guess what? Then we can start throwing a pity party, and the bleeding parts can come out, and we can try to make sure that everyone gets everything they need. Obviously, there, more to the story here. This isn't great. Mosques have been set on fire. As I said, it has obviously escalated to a point that is very, very bad. People are dying. Mosques are being set on fire. Video footage shared on social media showed a mob climbing to the top of the mosque's minaret, where they attempted to plant a saffron flag. The shops in the area were also being targeted by the mob. Police imposed a restriction on large gatherings in northeast Delhi as reports emerged of stone pelting and more structures being set ablaze. Medical superintendent of Guru Teg Bahadur Hospital, where the injured were taken, told Al Jazeera that 13 people have died in the violence, including a policeman who passed away yesterday. Another official at the hospital told AFP news agency that 31 people, including 10, were also seriously hurt. Excuse me. Since yesterday, we've been calling the police to enforce a curfew, to send reinforcements, a student from a riot-hit area who took his injured friend to the hospital told AFP. Holy moly. A senior police officer said approximately 150 people were injured in the violence that started as U.S. President Donald Trump arrived. Some of the people brought in had gunshot wounds. Fresh violence has been reported from Muslim-populated areas, while stones were thrown in neighborhoods such as Majupur. Chief Minister of Delhi appealed to residents to maintain peace after an urgent meeting of his newly elected legislators to the capital. ANI news agency that his party's legislators from the affected areas said there was a severe shortage of police officers, so that's not good. The clashes erupted on Sunday after supporters of the Citizenship Act passed Parliament last December attacked anti-government protest areas. It's been dubbed anti-Muslim, has triggered nationwide protests, especially by Muslims. The violence started a day after the governing BJP party leader, Kapil Mishra, oh my lord, warned anti-CAA protesters to end their peaceful sit-in. On Monday, police officers used tear gas and smoke grenades but struggled to disperse the stone throwers. Several vehicles and a fire truck were torched. Oh lordy. So as you can see, it's getting extremely violent, extremely dangerous. Just all around a very bad situation. It's not going to be good for their economy. It's not going to be good internationally. This focus on the fact that it started on Donald Trump's visit, is the implication that they started because of him? Because that doesn't seem to be the case. It seems that this has started last December. This is when it all came to a head, not, this week when Trump visited. However, news agencies love to talk about President Trump because it gets them clicks. Everyone likes those clicks. And of course, like always, let's look at what Twitter has to say because it's such a great source of information. Congratulations! You have proved right. Your day and night Hindu-Muslim debates are making good results, but I wish your children should have also present there with the bullet injury and burned body. So I think this person is saying he wishes that this person's children were killed. Lovely. Gotta love that side of the argument. Do you really think you can erase Islam by doing such low things? Islam is not confined to a specific place. You can burn our mosques, our houses, or even us, but how will you take faith from our hearts? No one can take our deen from our hearts. I mean, no one should be trying to stop anyone's religion, regardless of what it is. The only type of religion we should stop is extreme religion, extremist religion. That's the type of religion we need to stop. So finally, our guest has left Delhi, and government now work to fix this fake propaganda riot. Okay. Will you please take any action, Twitter India, on these fake news peddlers now, or your actions are biased too? So, list of who all tweet old video of mosque and try to incite communal riots. All right, so these are all people, I guess, that we're talking about the placing of the saffron flag. So I guess people are now claiming that's not true. I mean, that's one person, two people on Twitter. As this situation develops, I will come out with another video or not, depending. I might add a little on to this video. I will come up with some sort of update is the point. If you haven't already found me on Twitter, my handle is DanielsInferno9, so you can find me there. Aside from that, guys, again, you won't have to wait so long for a video. I've been working on a Jordan Peterson video. I still plan on putting that out, and I still plan on doing a larger format video on anti-Semitism. That issue is still a continued threat here in Canada, and it's something that really is not being addressed under Justin Trudeau's government. And let me just say, Justin Trudeau, worst prime minister in Canadian history. He will go down as the most inept and useless individual who was ever born and ever existed. Thank you all for watching today. I'm Daniels Inferno.